Should you relocate to like-minded areas? Hey everybody, this is Michael with Asymmetrical Preparedness. That's what we're talking about today. But first off, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, hit the like button, share the videos, comment below. Also check us out on Patreon. We're doing lots of good stuff there, stuff that's not friendly to this platform. So, should you relocate to areas where people are like-minded? Some people say, they're like, well, it's kind of like giving up. Giving up in the area where you are. Why don't you stay put and try to fix where you are to make it better? Which I get. I understand that argument. Valid argument. But I also get the point of moving to an area where there's more like-minded people. Where you can connect with people more effectively, more efficiently. You can be around people that hold the same ideals as you do, whether they be political, religious, whatever. A way of life, also, the simple way of life, rural living, homesteading, those kind of things, like our mini homestead here. So why am I talking about this? In the past, I've talked about moving to the Ozarks. Well, that's back on the plate because here in Western Washington, housing prices are going crazy, and I'm pretty sure we're on a bubble right now, and it will come back down. But we can sell here, move somewhere like the Ozarks, and not have a mortgage. I could homestead full-time. So that's another part of thinking about simplifying your life, moving rural, and doing something like that. Just living a simple homesteading style life. It's not easy. It's a lot of hard work, but it's simple. It's simple life, doing simple things. Taking care of your family, feeding your family, growing your own food, raising your own animals, all those kind of things. Yeah, it's a lot of hard work. First off, what I want to say is I know I'll get comments in the comment section if I don't say this, and if people don't watch this part, they'll also still comment. If you move to areas like, say, I'm here in Western Washington. If I was, say, a Seattleite and I moved to the Ozarks and I took with me my belief structure and my way of life and wanted to maintain it, that's not a good idea. You have to conform to where you're going. You have to be willing to conform. Knowing myself and knowing the people there, knowing the way of life there, I will fit in beautifully because I love the simple, slower life. Hey, there's my, check out my killer basset hound. He wanted to be on film, I guess. Anyway, yeah, the slower life, not expecting a bunch of big city ideas, maybe having to drive to the store for ways. Well, to get to any major store where I'm already at, I'm already looking at 20 minutes to a half hour, so that's nothing new to me. But it's not just that. It's meeting people where they are. If you're not willing to adapt yourself and meet people where they are and take it easy, take it slow, adjust to the lifestyle there, then you're not going to make it. If you go there with the attitude of, oh, everybody, in Arkansas or Missouri or Oklahoma or whatever are dumb, that they're just a bunch of redneck hillbillies. Well, and I'm better than them because I'm more wealthy than them, I'm smarter than them, I'm better looking than them, whatever the case may be, then you're not going to make it. You're not going to get along there. So leave those ideas where you are when you move, if you're going to move. Yeah, be ready for big change. But I recommend the change. Like I said, simple living is so rewarding. Even for me, getting out here, doing all this stuff, working in the soil with my hands, sometimes gloves, but you guys know what I mean. It's rewarding. It's working with the kids, teaching them, learning as I go, growing crops, harvesting them, having my kids be able to run around out here and play and just chow yummy food, healthy, whole, natural food while they're playing. That's how I grew up. My grandparents had a huge garden. And they'd always see my little head out there in the garden somewhere, chowing. I was playing like war. I was running around with my grandpa's old, Marine jacket, and he had an '03 Springfield training rifle. So it wasn't an actual rifle. It's just basically a toy. To me, as a little kid, yay tall, that rifle was taller than I was. It was huge. I thought it was huge. And then seeing it, years later as an adult, I realized it was just a regular rifle. But I used to haul that thing around there. I was fighting the Germans. I was fighting the British. I was fighting whatever I was fighting. I was running around fighting the good fight and eating all the awesome healthy foods. It was that lifestyle that was built into me and my who I am that also made me live a healthy lifestyle, take care of my health, be fit, all these kind of things. But giving that to your children and yourself is awesome. I mean, it's a very, very good thing to do. So we are reapproaching that topic, looking for properties. Although that may be a little jumping the gun right now. We got a lot to do here. So some of the stuff, I don't know. I may not be building the chicken coop and doing all that stuff here because we may be looking to get out of here. We may be looking at just like cleaning up the property and stuff like that. I'm still growing stuff because we never know what's going to happen, when it's going to happen. I'm not going to do that till the last minute, especially all the containers. We take all the containers away, dump them away. Probably, the containers are probably most of the good ones I'd throw in the back of the moving van and, take them with us. Same with some of the extra logs and stuff like that because, they're good and I can use them there. Highly recommend moving to areas of like-minded people. It's a better way of life, I think. I don't want to be around people like here in Washington with all the mandates and all this stuff like that I don't necessarily agree with. I want to be in somewhere. I want to live somewhere where I can be free. I don't want to live somewhere where everybody wants to control me. And I know every state has a little bit of little bits, and no state is perfect. No country is perfect. But putting yourself in a better situation around people that you can connect with, for one thing, it's so much easier to create a mutual assistance group, a MAG, if you're in areas where there's a lot more like-minded people. Because, gardening, raising animals and stuff like that may just be second nature to them. They may not be preppers or think of themselves as preppers, but in some reality, they kind of are. Being around simple people like that, I yearn for that. And I yearn for the ability to, thinking about also I have to keep in mind my wife's medical condition. It's kind of taken a turn, not in the good direction. So I have to make sure, so I have to think about that. My ability to not have to go to a job, to work my own land, take care of my wife, provide for my kids, and if the worst case scenario happens and, I'm by myself with my kids, I don't want to put them in a daycare and stuff like that and have to go to work. I want a quality of life that I can still be there. We can just keep on keeping on and try to move past it or move on. And as difficult as it'll be, very obviously difficult, but we have to be realistic and we have to plan for things like that and think about things like that. I have to, as much as I don't want to, we have to keep that in our minds, that she may not be with us forever. So having the ability to not have to work, just work my property, do other things. There may be ways, including this, what I'm doing right now, as a livelihood. I have to be real about it. And in that situation, we would buying our property with the proceeds from this one would allow us to not have a mortgage, which is a huge thing. And simplifying our lives along the way also, and making do with a simpler lifestyle, upcycling, recycling, using what we have, those kind of things. We can make do, and we'd be in a much better situation. I think we'd be much happier as a family. There'd be some stresses. I mean, anytime you want to move, there's a lot of stresses. It's one of the most stressful life events, right? The same with like starting a new job, things like that. But I that's really what we're thinking about. And I recommend it, I guess. You know, the simple lifestyle is just, it's healthy. It's good for you. It helps keep you fit. It helps keep you young. It's hard work, but it helps keep you closer as a family also, which is very important to me. You know, working a homestead, working the garden, raising the animals, teaching kids, mentoring them, as, you know, help them to grow up with good moral structure, to become good people, assets to society instead of liabilities. So that's very important. Let's talk a little bit about like where. Okay, there's a lot of good areas. I was really thinking about Idaho for a long time. Well, yeah, everybody else did too. So property values went skyrocketing. So it's not, in my situation, it's not a viable option anymore. I think Utah might also be an option. It depends on how much money you have. Idaho, Utah, Arizona, Texas maybe-ish, Arkansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Kentucky, and there are other states that I haven't really, you know, I might have left out. Not saying that there aren't some good places to live in these states. There are good places to live around like-minded people in every state. I know, even California, Northern California, Eastern California, same with Oregon, Eastern Oregon, Eastern Washington, upstate New York, the mountains of Virginia, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia. Florida is a really good state. It's just with Florida, okay, Florida's a great state. They've got a lot of good things going for them. The thing I have with Florida is tropical storms. Okay, and I get it. You can live in areas of areas of Florida that are protected with that. One thing I really don't like is it's a peninsula, so it can be shut off very easily. It does not have. Yeah, I get it's still a long border when you're thinking about it, but it's a panhandle. You can get trapped down there. The close proximity to Cuba may not be a good idea. East Coast, to me, isn't a great idea either. Neither is West Coast, though. I'm not an East Coast, West Coast battle thing. I don't think either coast is good, personally. And then also with Florida, you got other things like alligators in your front yard. I don't know. It's just, I get it. A lot of you guys are in Florida. Great state. It's just not for me. I like terrain features. I like trees. I like growing season. I like seclusion. I like being left alone. A lot of people talked about also like when things really get bad for whoever's trying to control people is when the people that just want to be left alone stand up. That's when you're in trouble. So there's a lot to think about. It's a big deal. But please think about it for your family's sake, for your sake. Moving rural. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be like really like way out in the middle of nowhere. It could be just outside of suburbia. Which in a big event, the golden horde coming for all your stuff, zombies, whatever you want to call it, the people trying to take from others that are the starving masses would get to just outside suburbia. So living in the middle of nowhere obviously is probably a little bit better. Low population density, but some population density. I don't necessarily think that zero population density is a good idea either. So yeah, I guess we're going to have to start doing things like, once we get in our minds and we make the decision that yes, we are moving, then we need to sell our bug out property, our mountaintop property. We'll have to sell this property. And yeah, hopefully somebody will make use of all this awesome garden I've already started. But I don't know. Lost my train of thought for a sec. Okay, here's an example of why I know that one of the reasons why I would fit in Arkansas. North central Arkansas, northwest Arkansas area, Oklahoma, Missouri, whatever, any of that whole area there. I would fit into the area. So we're driving down the road earlier, and we see this, one of those igloo, ice chests, or chill boxes, ice chests, whatever you want to call it. About, yay wide, it's one of the smaller ones, with this lid laying next to it, off of it, in the ground next to the road. And I thought, most people would be like, oh, it's trash. I thought, container for gardening. Or I thought, bury it in the ground, use it as like a cold storage for root vegetables. Which, that's totally what somebody would do. My wife grew up in that area, in the Ozark area. So yeah, she's like, oh yeah, my people would totally do that. Grab that up off the road and repurpose it. Heck yeah, why not? Oh man, there's a lot of reasons why I know I would fit in there. I'm down to earth, I'm simple, I'm not highfalutin, nothing like that. Don't think I'm better than anybody. And willingness to simplify my life, conform my life to that lifestyle, which is a big part. So think about these things. Is that big paying, high-paying job in the city worth it? What's your quality of life like? How much time do you actually get to spend with your family? How much time do you get to spend outdoors? How about just sitting out here, enjoying the quiet, except for my basset hound whining, the tree, the birds chirping, the squirrels running around, looking at all my beautiful garden, simple things, my daughter running around playing, my son riding bikes back and forth, our super awesome guard cat sitting out there on his lead right now because we're trying to normalize himself and get him used to, yes, this is his home before we let him go do his mice and rat killing thing. We don't want him to just run off, which I'm sure you guys understand that. Gunner, he's our awesome new mouser. But yeah, just sitting back, taking a deep breath. Oh, I'm ready to do some porch sitting. Don't drink tea, so the sweet tea thing is out, but I can grab myself a sparkling beverage, trying to quit that Diet Pepsi addiction. Sit back and drink this, because I don't drink alcohol either, or smoke, or anything like that. So, but, sitting on the porch in a rocking chair, watching my kids play, yes, that's for me. And especially as I get older, I want to provide peace of mind for my family, right? This is what this is all about, preparedness, being a prepper. It's about peace of mind for your family. Mm-hmm. Being able to do the things as well as you're physically able to. But by the time I get old, hopefully I'll have tribe, around me. Even if they're older, maybe I'll have kids. Maybe my kids will decide to stay. Anyway, think about it. Just something for thought, food for thought. There's a lot of stuff going on. I want to move somewhere where there's all these mandates and all this control. I want to move somewhere where I can feel like an American for once in a long time, that I haven't really felt like that in a long time. And I get it, you're not totally free anywhere. But at least it'd be a lot better there. And if more people move to areas like that are willing to put in the work and modify their lives, the better. Obviously, I don't want rural living to become city living, so don't too many people move there. But the area is affordable, way more affordable than here in Western Washington. It's expensive here. I know things are getting more expensive there also. But our ability to live and to thrive in that area and have a much better quality of life is way higher. So, food for thought. Just thought I'd sit here and chat about it for a little bit. I love you guys a lot, and I do this for you guys. I want you guys to do the best you can. Increase your quality of life, your family life. Families are important. Families are everything, next to him, of course. But yeah, they're a blessing. Be there for them. I don't want to be in a high-paid office job anymore. I'm actually thinking that door closing, that was his work. Because now we're headed down this path, maybe, that will allow me to be fully retired. Although I'll be working my butt off. I'll be working harder than I ever have probably. But it'll be for myself, for my family, not for somebody else, trading my life force, my days, my limited days for fiat currency. It will be me spending my life, my days, taking my breath, working my land to provide for my family. I don't think there's anything better than that. So please think about it. Please prep a little every day. And remember that preparedness, prepping, all this stuff, food storage, all this stuff, self-sufficiency, is all living insurance. Have a wonderful day and blessings to you and yours.